também se matou, assim como o psicólogo Bruno Bettelheim, também ele um sobrevivente do nazismo. Então, essa culpa do sobrevivente, né, é apenas uma das terríveis repercussões que teve o genocídio nazista, né, e é uma razão a mais para que jamais esqueçamos o que aconteceu.
A senhora em algum momento teve um sentimento parecido, um sentimento de se culpar por ter escapado?
Well, I must admit, no. I know when you lose your children, like Otto Frank or my mother, who survived their own children, those people definitely feel guilt, because in the Jewish Bible it is mentioned you shouldn't survive your own children. That is a terrible thing. I must say I very often question why I was the one who survived in our family. My brother was much more talented than I. My father was a much stronger person than I. But it was me who survived. So I question. But I must admit I was much too pleased that I did have survived and that I had a chance to make a new life for myself.
Que tipo de relação a família da senhora tinha com a família de Anne Frank antes da prisão? Porque o pai da Anne Frank, casou com a mãe dela depois da guerra.
Ambos vivos, importante dizer.
Ambos vivos, é claro.
Well, we came from Austria to Holland in 1940, and we moved to a square in Amsterdam, Zeemermeerplein, where many Jewish refugees lived. And I was 11 years old when we got there. And after school, the children all came out and played on the square. And one day a little girl came and introduced herself. She was well brought up and said her name was Anne Frank. She came from Germany as well. And she will take me up to her family who could speak German with me, because I couldn't speak Dutch very well yet. And so that I met her family, and we were friends for 2 years. We played every day after school together, and we talked about boys. We played skipping, all the games which little girl played. But Anne was quite a different type as I was. I was a wild child. I was more like a boy. And Anne was already a very sophisticated little girl. She was very interested in her hairstyle, in clothes, in film stars. And so I admired her. She had always a lot of stories to tell. She always had a whole group of children around her. But I was still very shy because I'd gone through a very difficult time. The Frank family came already to Holland in 1933 when Anne was 4, so she hadn't really experienced much difficulties. But I had been already condemned as a Jew, and we had been in Belgium first, where the people didn't welcome refugees, and to learn French first, and so I had already a very difficult time. So for 2 years we knew each other till both our families, our older siblings, my brother, who was 16 years at the time, and Anne's sister Margot, got a call-up notice to report to a certain point to be deported to Germany to a work camp. And that was the time when many Jewish families decided they wouldn't send their children, but we would go into hiding. We didn't know that the Frank had gone hiding, and they didn't know about us. We never talked about anything like that, because all the Dutch people they hated the Germans, had after all invaded their country. Nevertheless, in 1942, Germany was victorious, and there were many, many people who thought the Germans will win the war, and so many took sides with the Germans and became Dutch Nazis. And those were the people who later betrayed many, many Jewish people.
O pai da Anne Frank passou a frequentar a casa da senhora depois da guerra. Que lembrança a senhora tem da descoberta dos famosos diários da Anne Frank?
Well, he was a wonderful person. We came back in June 1945 through Russia. We were 4 months in Russia. Just telling you about the Russians, we saw unbelievable devastation which the Germans had created, but the Russians treated us with respect, and fed us and clothed us. We know that when they went into Germany, they raped and looted and did terrible things. But the victims of the Nazis are treated really very, very well. So I have great love for the Russians. So I know that the leader, Stalin, did nearly the same horrors as Hitler did. But the people, the Russian people, are wonderful people. I love them dearly. And so what was the question?
Que lembrança a senhora tem da descoberta dos
So
diários?
eventually we came back to Holland after 6 months on the road, and we waited for news from our family. Everywhere there were posters and adverts in newspapers to look for certain people. And one day we got a notice from the Red Cross that both my father and brother had died in Mauthausen, an Austrian concentration camp, several days before the American army came to liberate that camp. You can imagine my mother and me were just devastated. A few days later, Otto Frank came as well, telling us that he had heard that his wife and both his daughters had perished. He was 57 years old at the time, and after he left, I sat on my mother's lap and we cried. And my mother said, well, at least we have each other, but this poor man, how can he carry on with his life? He has nothing really to live for. And a few days later, he came again and he had a brown parcel in his arm. And he said, I must show you something. And he opened it very, very carefully, and it was Anna's diary. And this little book gave him a purpose in his life again. He was very, very proud. He showed it to everybody. And he always said, I feel as if my little girl is still with me. Nevertheless, in later years, he always said, I feel very guilty. I had, after all, 2 daughters. But I always speak about Anna and never about Margot. But Anna was just with him all the time.
Qual foi a impressão que a senhora teve quando leu pela primeira vez os diários? Foi igual que o Moacir Scliar teve de alguns trechos insuportáveis?
Well, no, because she wrote the diary before she had been transported to Auschwitz. So she writes really about her development from a little girl into a woman, about the quarrels they had with the 8 people, about her relationship with the first love with the young boy Peter, about her unfortunately very bad relationship with her mother, about the dentist who was in hiding. She was very critical, and so it was a complete different book, like my book. But you said it was very difficult to read my book. Well, of course it is. But on the other hand, people say, so you tell about the facts. Your book is nevertheless a book, an uplifting book, because it speaks of hope and courage and survival. Elie Wiesel's book is a dark book, Night, about death, about the questioned existence of God. My book is sad, but nevertheless it has hope, and that is very important in this difficult world.
Sim, a senhora citou no início rapidamente o fato de que a sua família foi vítima de uma traição na Holanda quando foi capturada. A senhora poderia explicar melhor em que circunstâncias se deu essa traição?
Well, that's quite a complicated story. We have to change hiding places in the 2 years about 5-6 times, because, like I said, the Nazis did house searches, and we had a hiding place within a hiding place. People from the resistance came and looked for a partition where they could make, or under the floorboards, or somewhere where people could hide when the Nazis come. So people became very nervous. So after a year and a half, or after sometimes even a few weeks, she said, I'm sorry, I can't take the tension. You have to look for a different hiding place. My father and brother was in the country with a woman who started to blackmail them. She wanted more money. And as the war was dragging on already for 2 years, after we'd been in hiding, it was already 5 years, but 2 years in hiding, we ran out of money, and my father said, well, if the war goes on and we have no money, this woman will throw us out. So we got in touch with people from the resistance and found a new hiding place, and this the Dutch nurse came forward and said she knew the safe house, but this was really a trap. This Dutch nurse took my father and brother to this address, which was really a trap where the Nazis were. And we had visited them because they'd come to Amsterdam, and they followed us. So all 4 of us were betrayed. We were 3 days in a Dutch camp and then immediately sent to Auschwitz.
Vocês vão ver no livro, ela cita realmente, como Moacir cita, cenas terríveis, né? Você, o que foi que mais marcou você, sem precisar descrever necessariamente as cenas, qual foi a passagem que mais chocou você?
Ela faz uma descrição extremamente realista, extremamente, às vezes até objetiva, assim, né? Das torturas pelas quais ela passou, né? Das humilhações, dos sofrimentos, né? As condições de higiene eram terríveis, né? E as doenças pelas quais eles passavam, a sujeira que eles viviam, a fome constante, essas coisas realmente assim impressionam o leitor. E é bom que a gente se lembre que essas coisas aconteceram. Agora eu queria fazer uma pergunta para ela, né? Viu, Janetão? Fazer uma pergunta para ela, que é o seguinte: o tema de Anne Frank é um tema que constantemente volta à tona. Agora mesmo tem no Rio uma peça, né? E acaba de sair pela editora Zahara um livro muito interessante de uma crítica literária americana chamada Francine Prose, que é uma análise da trajetória do diário de Anne Frank, né? E aí vem a minha pergunta para ela. O diário, no começo, é uma coisa curiosa, ele foi recusado sistematicamente pelos editores, que achavam que não teria mercado para esse tipo de livro, né? Achavam que as pessoas não estavam querendo ouvir falar na guerra, que aquilo era uma coisa muito particular, que não interessava ao público norte-americano, né? Ou seja, erraram, né, feio nesse cálculo deles, né? Depois o livro foi adaptado para o teatro e foi adaptado também para o cinema, né? E as adaptações, né, mais a de teatro, mas também a de cinema, foram muito criticadas por causa dentro de uma ótica, né, que se faz muito em relação ao cinema e à dramaturgia americana, que eles pasteurizam, né, que eles neutralizam, que eles tratam de, vamos dizer assim, adoçar um pouco as coisas, né, minimizar um pouco a brutalidade dos fatos, né, para não perder público. E a peça em especial foi criticada por causa disso, mas também o filme. A minha pergunta para Eva é se ela chegou a ver essas adaptações, né, e se concorda com o fato de que há nelas elementos que distorcem o diário de Anne Frank.
Well, this is a very good question. Why the diary became so popular in 1952 when it was published in America was because by that time people started to want to know what was happening, but they didn't want to know too much. It was still too painful, and there was as well a guilt. I think the American people, the British people, felt guilty that they hadn't done anything. It was well known what was happening in the many, there were 300 death camps and concentration camps. The governments did know, and there was a great guilt feeling by Jewish people in America, by everybody really. So this was a book which gave some information, but it didn't go too deep. When the film and the play came out, Otto had a court case because it's a complicated story. There was